Hello, thank you very much for joining us here on this special live chat party. Special live chat party, a second screen experience for this one between Japan and Germany in the 2024 Paris Olympics men's basketball tournament. Hello, I'm Paulo de Rosario from the Philippines, calling this one from the Philippines and watching this like many of you on our local providers. Of course, just a reminder to everyone who is watching us here. Of course, we will mention this over and over again. This is not where you can watch the game. We will not have a live stream of the actual game. What we are going to offer is a different soundtrack to that game. So just find your local provider and be able to watch the game. Then you can have this open on the side. This will be a live chat party. So let us know what you guys think of the games happening, and of course let your opinions be heard. Thank you very much for joining us. Of course, I apologize to a lot of our Japanese. I do not speak Japanese, but thank you very much for joining us as well. Hopefully you can enjoy all of this as well, and there's a lot of people here. I'm sure we'll have a lot to say about this particular matchup, considering the history between these two. Uh, Japan has never won against Germany. They have been recent competitors as of late. Japan obviously was part of the last Olympics as the host nation. This time they qualified by virtue of finishing as the highest Asian nation going into the at the end of rather the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Of course, coming here to make sure that they're not just to make up the numbers, but it'll be a tough task considering Germany are Germany, one of the most informed teams in the entire world. And let's see what they can do here. Voigtman starts out with Franz Wagner, Daniel Theiss, and Dennis Schroeder, as well as Andy Obst. On the other end for Japan, they start out with Yuki Kawamura, Rui Hachimura, Yuta Watanabe, Josh Hawkinson, and Hirotaka Yoshii. And we're going to find out if this German team can, one, meet expectations, or two, can Japan provide a bit of an upset. Dennis Schroeder gets us going here early on, and why not? 2-point pull-up jumper come from Dennis Schroeder here for Germany. Coming right at the elbow. Expect to see more of that as well. Again, thank you very much to all of our Japanese viewers joining us here on the chat. Unfortunately, I will not be able to read out your comments as much as I want to due to my lack of knowledge of Japanese. But to be fair, if people from Germany come in and join us as well, I don't think I'll be able to really translate what's being said as well. Franz Wagner getting a layup here for Germany, making it 4-0 in favor of the world champions. That's right. The FIBA basketball world champions. How about Germany? You know, you take a look at what Germany has done in the recent years. Obviously, finishing third in Europe, finishing top of the FIBA Basketball World Cup. You gotta wonder, what can they do here in the Olympic Games? Could you imagine them finishing in the podium? Do you think that they have that ability? Let us know what you think on the chat happening below. And of course, again, if you're Japan here, where can you get offense? Can you slow down this German team? Earlier, we saw Australia beat Spain in the first matchup. And the thing with the Australian team, is that they started out so red hot, 31-point quarter to open things up for them, and they just really took that momentum and lived through it the entire game. Spain had a bit of a comeback in the third quarter, took a bit of the lead, and that basically woke Australia back up. They took the win there to really open things up here in the Olympic Games. So what can Germany do? What can Japan do? Rui Hachimura hits a 2-point jumper here, the first here for Japan. He's going to be a big factor in this game, especially when you consider no upset so far. Rui Hachimura has to be a big factor in this game, considering that he is going to be, well, you know, from a talent perspective, arguably the most talented Japanese player on the floor here on the court. No upset so far because it's only the second game, by the way, in the Olympic Games, so don't worry about it. There have been a lot of upsets, though, in the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournaments. Let's see if that could be something as well. So Daniel Tice gets a 2-point tip in to go here for Germany, but then Yuta Watanabe answers back with three of his own. And this is what you want if you're Japan. Keep things close, keep things a bit slow pace. Just I don't think you're gonna go out there and outscore Germany. Germany just have big well, there's a big discrepancy on talent on paper at the very least. Germany going up here as one of the biggest favorites. So again, if Japan upset Germany, yes, it will be a big monumental upset. Considering that Japan, again, all due respect to Japan, are not going into this one with really. They're not a lot of people are going to go looking into this one as Japan could make a dent in this group, but that could change. You never know. That's the thing. That's what we love about Olympic basketball. You see a lot of weird results. We've seen it in the past. Puerto Rico beating Team USA. You've seen nations like Lithuania making it far, not even making it to this particular Olympic Games. So we're going to find out whether or not Japan could go and make a difference here. Right now, we're also reading a lot of comments on the live chat. So we're gonna try and read them out and use that to fuel our conversation here. Yuki Kawamura hits a three-pointer here for Japan, keeping things close. Interesting here. Nearing the halfway point of this first quarter, and Japan only trailing by one here. Three-point shooting doing well for them. Yuki Kawamura and Yuta Watanabe hitting the three-pointers here for Japan so far, while it was Rui Hachimura who hit the two-pointer and step-back jumper. So you take a look at that, but then a shooter taking matters in his own hands, hitting a two-pointer as well for Germany. Again, thank you very much for joining us here on the YouTube page. For those wondering where you can watch the actual games, you have to check with your local provider. We have a link in the description so you can find your local provider wherever you are around the world. This is a second stream experience, which means you put this on beside the game that you're watching, and this will be a different type of commentary that you can come in and rely on. Franz Wagner getting a dunk here for Germany, 13-8. Good start there for Japan, though. Even though it is 13-8 in favor of Germany, they're keeping this close. And you have to imagine, you feel that if you can come in and keep this a close game, you could pull off an upset or two. And I think that's the way that you do it, right? You come in, you try and keep the game close, and you never know how the third quarter will pan out. So it's again gonna be tough. Gonna be tough here for Japan. Let's not pretend that it's going to be a game wherein there's one team that's heavily favored over the other. But 13-8 start here in favor of Germany. Arguably still a good start here for Japan. Rui Hachimura will have a lot of the ball. There he is again. That time, though, unable to get that turnover from Yuki Kawamura, and it's Daniel Tice who gets a three-point jumper to fall here for the Germans. 8-point lead here for Germany rather, and you have to wonder how far can they take this. Hirotaka Yoshii gets a lay-in to go, 16-10 in favor still of the Germans. But then Daniel Tice coming in as well from an alley-oop, coming from Dennis Schroeder. Points coming in fast and furious. Germany eager to ramp up the scores. No surprise. They have the talent up. They have the athleticism. But Hirotaka Yoshii gets another three-pointer to go. 18-13, 5-point lead here for the Germans. But Japan not going away. A lot of people are expecting blowouts. But I think Japan will have something to say about that. This just goes to show how much they're improving. Talking about the Japanese, they are investing heavily in their domestic scene. They are doing a great job coming in as a rising power in Asian basketball. and you just never know what they can do. I think we're past the time wherein when you think of Asian basketball, only China dominates. Right now, you have to look at Japan and what they're doing, because they are showing not just the talent level but the consistency to actually get wins and hopefully compete against bigger European nations. As Dennis Schroeder, boy, he is fantastic. He is fantastic for this. He is fantastic for this German team. And right now, a series of changes here. Yuki Togashi and Hugh Watanabe comes in for Japan, while Johannes Thiemann and Mo Wagner comes in here for Germany. So changes here. 2013 still in favor of the Germans. Japan hanging on to keeping this in a single digit deficit. Yuta Watanabe hits a turnaround J. Let's see what they could do. Of course, thank you very much for joining us here. Do share this, join this if you want a different type of commentary compared to what you hear in whatever commentary that you're hearing for the Olympic Games. As Yuta Watanabe hits a big 3-pointer. Don't look now, just a 2-point lead going into here in the first quarter. Still 2:35 left to play, and again, no game was won in the first quarter or the second or the third. They're typically won in the fourth quarter. So let's see if Japan can keep this up. I believe that if you're going to look for an upset here, you gotta keep it close if you're Japan. Just keep it manageable. Don't let Germany go on an incredible run, which they are fully capable of, by the way. And Johannes Thiemann just righting the ship here for the Germans, 23-18. Carl Omosura on our chat says, "Go Japan!" And I want to hear from our German friends as well, joining us on the chat. Let us know, let yourselves be heard. And we cannot wait to hear what you guys have to say as well. Another slew of substitutes here. Akira Jacobs and Yuday Baba come in, as well as Maodo Lo and Isaac Bonga coming in here for Germany. Changes here. And you gotta wonder, is this going to be a chess match a bit? Like, Japan realize, I'm sure, that they don't have a lot of room for error, as this Japanese side has really, there's a talent deficit a bit in this one, but especially when you look at the NBA caliber talent that they have in this one. But then again, there's this togetherness in this Japan team that would make it difficult to be growing. By the way, that level of confidence that they have in each other, it feels like it's growing. Of course, right now people are asking, all right, so where can you watch the games? Again, do check out Yuki Togashi. I'm so sorry to interrupt myself there. 3-point shot by Yuki Togashi. They've been shooting the lights out. Talking about Japan, 23-21, just a one-possession ball game here. And what has happened here is that the 3-point shooting of Japan has been keeping them in this. 50% from beyond the arc so far here are the Japanese. And they are now shooting 5 of 10 from beyond the arc. That is an incredible number that they're going to be hoping, by the way, is something that can be sustained. On the other end, 3 of 8 from Germany. Not so bad there, 38%. But right now, Germany, even though they do have the lead, it's not necessarily comfortable at all anytime yet. Nick Weiler-Bob comes in for Dennis Schroeder, giving him a bit of the rest going into the fourth quarter. Now, of course, for those wondering, please do check out the description for the link to see where you can catch the Olympic Games by your local providers wherever you are around the world. Of course, you cannot watch the actual games here live on this particular channel. FIBA, this FIBA YouTube channel does not have the rights to that game, but we are going to talk about it, and we're going to have a bit of debate as well, talk about all the things that we're seeing in this game, and see what we can do to try and make this a bit more interesting for everyone, a bit more interactive as well. As Mo Wagner gets a basket here from a driving lane. 25-21, high scoring first quarter, by the way. High scoring considering it's a 10-minute game and FIBA rules, people can park themselves inside the paint, a bit different there. But of course, it's going to be interesting to see Again, can Japan sustain this? This is actually a really good start from the Japanese. Foul there from Yu Watanabe, and Mo Wagner gets the end one to fall 26-21 here towards the end of the quarter number one. Only a 5-point lead here from Germany, but then, my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, what a start here from the Germans. What a start here from the Japanese as well. This is exactly what they want to do. Keep the lead within maybe 2 possessions and come in a bit closer. Miss jumper there coming from Rui Hachimura. Mo Wagner comes away with a rebound. Can they hold on? Can they hold on? That is the question. Are there any upsets that you guys remembered in international basketball recently that comes to mind when you think about upsets here in international basketball? Filipino basketball fans would say, oh, their upset of Latvia in the OQT, in the FIBA OQT comes to mind. But then from other nations, what else are the what else are some of the baskets, or some of the games rather, that come to mind when you think about upsets on the international stage? Let us know in the comments below. We'll talk a bit about that. And of course, later I'm going to explain what the Super Challenge is. You can catch that in just a bit, as well as right now, a couple of changes here. Just 7 seconds left here in the first quarter. Let's see if any team can get a bit of an opportunity to try and, if you're Germany, increase your lead, or Japan to trim it down a bit more. We'll see what happens there. And a foul there from Andy Obst from Makoto Hijima. You gotta feel that that's a foul just to, waste a bit of time, make things a bit more difficult. Able to shave off a second there. Of course, Germany, again, World Cup holder, one of the best here so far in recent times, especially. Zaitsev was saying he wants to upset Japan, to upset Germany. And Audrey Karl Dakanai has his own prediction, saying that Japan, well, there's a plus 20 on Japan. Let's see if that'll happen. Puerto Rico beating Lithuania from Emmanuel Rosani. That's actually true. That was a good game. I actually watched that game too. Puerto Rico. And that's how they ended up here in the FIBA Basketball World Cup. And Godzilla Ed is saying that Japan's only down by 5, and that's a really impressive so far here. And that'll do it, by the way. Mo Wagner gets the 2 free throws, 28-21 at the end of the first quarter. So again, only down by 7. Talking about Japan. And you know what? All due respect to Japan, that is not bad. Down by 7. You come in a bit closer. Let's say you win a quarter or two. Win the second quarter by like a couple of points. Maybe try and win the third. Slow the game down. Make it difficult here for Germany to rack up the score. You could give yourself a puncher's chance going to the fourth quarter. But it depends on how they allow Germany to grow into the game. I'm sure everyone is not under the illusion that Germany are not the heavy favorites here. They are, definitely. But then everyone loves an underdog, and we're seeing that in the chat here so far. CC says, go Japan, shock the world. Zaitsev a while ago said, make an upset against the world champions. And a lot of Japanese fans out there. Carlo Omosura saying that he hopes that they'll be lucky here, talking about Japan. And of course, we'll find out whether or not that luck can go anywhere. Again, for those wondering, if you need to see the link to find out where you can watch the games, go and check out the link in the description to go and find out which local provider you can turn to watch the Olympic Games. Again, thank you very much for joining us. This is the second screen experience of the FIBA basketball FIBA basketball YouTube channel of the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. I'm Paolo De Rosario from the Philippines. Very neutral in this one because our national team did not make it to the Olympic Games, unfortunately for us. We're close though. We were close, or at least we'd hope. I hope we were close. Of course, we're gonna see whether or not it can be improved later on, but especially going to LA. But right now, Germany are into this one as heavy favorites, very heavy favorites. But Japan showed us in that first quarter that, hey, there are no pushovers. Let's take a look at some of the stats here from quarter number one. Taking a look at the numbers here. 50% shooting still is Japan from beyond the arc, but then 73% from Germany overall. Key stats here: rebounding, Japan actually rebounding a bit better, +2 advantage in terms of rebounding and +3 in offensive rebounding. Let's see if that's a number that they could leverage in the future. But crucially, 3 turnovers to none in favor of Germany here so far. Fast break points, Japan have been running and gunning. That's how they've been scoring, and they had 6 easy points off fast break. And right now, it looks like Japan getting the first points here on the board in quarter number 2. 23-28 is the score. Points in the paint, that is 6 points there so far for Japan on the after that hit from Yuta Watanabe, courtesy of that lay-in. Once again, do subscribe and join us here. Of course, if you do end up being a part of the Super Chat, then you can actually be part of that Super Chat challenge right down there. So far, Germany leading that just by 1 point, though. To figure out how that works, you can go check that out because we have a Super Chat contest. That's a score there, by the way. Support your team with a Super Chat. Each dollar sent equals 1 point. Who will dominate? Show your team spirit now. All right, back to the contest here. Isaac Bonga gets 5 points straight up for himself, but Josh Hawkinson scores 2. Great start here to the third quarter, by the way. As Rui Hachimura with dunk, 33-27. Japan refusing to go away. Germany, if people were expecting Germany to run away with this one, it looks like Japan are putting up a fight. So make sure you don't tune out of this one, because we're wondering, where can an upset come from? Why not Japan? Why not Japan? Because Japan have shown us that they have had that steady development in their local basketball scene, that investment. They're going to try their best to match up against the world. And, right now they're showing us that progress has been made. This is a great start for them here. Turnover here from Rui Hachimura, though. As soon as I say that, Yuta Watanabe blocked the shot, got a defensive rebound, but Rui Hachimura turned it over. Mo Wagner was the guy blocked just a while ago. Of course, this is the first game in this group, Germany and Japan. The other members of Group B are France and Brazil. So the two teams favored to finish on top here in this group is actually Germany and France. France, especially because, 1, they're the host nation. 2, Victor Wembanyama. Rudy Gobert in a FIBA setting is a bit different as well, because there's no 3-second defensive rule allowed to camp in the paint. So he could have a bigger factor there compared to regular. But we'll see, of course, what happens there. And of course, for those just joining us right now, you can watch by checking out the links on the video description, just to find out who your local provider is to catch the Olympic Games. I'm sure you can catch more than the men's basketball there, which, by the way, that's not the only thing we're going to be doing a chat party for. We're also going to be doing a chat party for the women's basketball tournament here in the Olympic Games. And right now, scoring has slowed down here between these two. It's been more than a minute, and since Rui Hachimura scored off a dunk, still 33-27. But this is exactly what Japan wants. They want a low-scoring, slow-paced game that they can be within touching distance with, because they cannot, at least on paper, match up with the firepower of Germany. Japan so far, though, so good. Mo Wagner getting a point here finally off a lay-in, 35-27, 8-point lead here so far coming for Germany. But Japan are doing a good job making it tough to score. That's how you go about it, making it tough to score. And well, take a look at this. We are now seeing the shortest member of the Olympic basketball family, because Well, he has checked in at the moment. I'm gonna get his official height down in just a bit. So that is a number 2 of Japan, by the way. Yuki Togashi, who stands at 167 centimeters. Yeah, I mean, like, he's there despite of his height, and he stands at 5'6". Actually, the two shortest players in this Olympic Games, in terms of basketball, are in Japan, Yuki Togashi and Yuki Kawamura, both standing at 5'6" and 5'8", respectively. And don't tell Yuki Togashi that, because he just scored a driving lay-in, but then Isaac Bonga answers with 3. 38-29 the count here. Again, Yuki Togashi. Hard to guard someone you can't really keep in pace with. I think that's what they're going to try and work with. Again, small in stature, big in heart, Yuki Togashi. Again, ball popping around nicely here for Japan, but then shot just not connecting here for the Japanese. Still 38-29, still in favor of Germany, as expected, mind you. And there's going to be a timeout here from Japan. Again, thank you very much for joining us here on the chat. Again, Sophie Angel, go check the link down in the live chat to see where you can catch the games. Or you can catch the games on your local provider. Of course, Yuki Togashi. He is just fun to watch, just taking on literal giants compared to his height. Again, for those watching us here, we're also seeing Dennis Schroeder take up a bigger role compared to what we normally see him in the NBA. And one of the more fun things that we like discussing a while ago, at least based on that first game, you take a look at some of the role players in the NBA and then turn into superheroes once they wear their national team jersey. Who do you think of when you think of role players in their domestic league, in the NBA, who suddenly turn into a monster as soon as they wear their national team jersey? Who is that guy for you, or who comes into mind? Dennis Schroeder, definitely one from Germany, but then who else comes into mind for you guys? Let us know on the chat, and let's try and see what you guys think of. We had a nice one a while ago, actually. They mentioned Leandro Barbosa coming in as well. And Godzilla edits, really not a lot of faith in Japan, saying that he's surprised that Japan isn't down by 20 yet. To be fair, I understand what the expectation is from Germany. They're expected to win heavily here. So we'll see. We'll see how that will work out here for the Japanese. And of course, I'm also trying to understand what our Japanese friends are saying by using Google Translate, which I am sure is not reliable. But then, according to Beatnik, Bonga didn't hit threes like this when he was in Washington. Again, people transform. People transform when they wear their national team jerseys. When they come in and they wear their national team jerseys, it's like they turn into like a Michael Jordan type of guy, type of player. Franz Wagner hits a big three-pointer. That pushes the lead up to 43-29. It looks like finally Germany are finding a bit of the rhythm, and Japan are now struggling with their offense production. 35-29 was the score last time Japan hit a bucket. And at that time, it felt a bit manageable. But they gotta watch out here, because right now, Germany have started to come out and started to flex their muscles here a bit. You gotta wonder now, how can Japan manage to create reliable offense against Germany? They have the advantage with regards to size. They have the advantage with regards to even the skill level. So what can they do? People are gonna talk about the chemistry that these guys have. About Japan, Germany has a chemistry as well. Germany are looking at this as a tournament as a whole. They are heavy favorites in this one, but they're looking at this tournament as a whole as one of the bigger favorites. Looney Hoop says level basketball is now global. Every team is great. Absolutely, you don't make it to the Olympics without being a great team. Japan in Asia in particular is a growing power for sure. We've seen the likes of Lebanon be good, China be good, the Philippines also had their moments, but then Japan are definitely growing, and we're going to see whether or not they can consistently hit those high levels in future tournaments moving forward in FIBA and maybe in the Olympics. Obviously, second straight Olympic Games basketball for Japan after being hosts last time, and now here finishing as a top Asian country in the FIBA Basketball World Cup. And it's just a bit difficult here for Japan. They finally go to the free throw line. Josh Hawkinson getting 2 points here from the free throws. Yes, someone asking there if I'm Filipino. Yes, I am Filipino. And good question here. USA versus Serbia. It's a rematch from their tune-up game, though I do not know how much stake I would put on that tune-up game. What do you guys think? I want to know what you guys think. Who would come up in that? Who would win in that game? A lot of people might say Serbia might have the chance chemistry-wise against the USA, but then USA, their talent level, just a different level here. Of course, we have Mamuka flooding our chat here with emojis. I don't know who Mamuka's mad at. But we'll see. So right now, Super Chat Challenge also happening, by the way. Each dollar results in a point. And right now, Germany has 6 points compared to 1 in our own Super Chat Challenge. But then Germany also up big here, 47-31 against Japan. Yuta Watanabe hitting a big three-pointer, though, keeping this still within the realm of possibilities of making this a bit closer. Isaac Bonga hit the two-pointer a while ago. Assist from Dennis Schroeder. Yuki Togashi with the assist a while ago. Missed there from Franz Wagner, and we go the other way. Josh Hawkinson with the defensive rebound. And according to Mira, she gives Japan a 5% chance to win. Some people might say that that's actually generous. But every Japanese fan out there is going to say that, hey, you know what? If upsets can happen, the ball is round. We'll see what happens. Iberian-san says Serbia tomorrow against the USA. Let's see if that'll come true. Again, Serbia just very, very used to European style basketball. One Pawn Two Queen says USA, USA, USA. Again, USA coming in as heavy favorites in this Olympics, simply due to the star power that they have. Question now is though, who do you think has since we're talking about upsets, who do you think has the best chance to actually pip the USA to a gold medal? Let us know in the comments below. Is Germany one of those teams? Can Germany replicate what they did in the FIBA Basketball World Cup here in the Olympics, or is that not going to happen? Godzilla edits another good question here. Can today's USA team beat the 2012 USA team? I don't know. I think we need to see this USA team play a game first in the Olympics, and then we can find out, right? Because we already know what Team USA did in 2012. So yeah, we'll figure that out and see how that works out. Josh Hawkinson with a layup here. Just an 11-point lead here for Germany. And a timeout here from the Germans as well. Obviously not happy with how things turned out to be. So yeah, again, for right now, so we're seeing Japan trying to hang on to Germany. 47-36 is the count. 11-point lead so far for the Germans. It's expected, by the way, that they will. It's expected that they do have the lead, but then I don't think a lot of people expected Japan to be hanging around here. It's just 11 points, 11 point lead here for Germany. And yeah, Beatnik, what a pass! We're seeing, again, the smaller players for Japan are actually, what a nutmeg by the way. It was a nutmeg between the legs from one of the smallest guys on the floor. Yuki Kawamura finding Josh Hawkinson for the finish. Woo! Woo! That's a highlight that's going to be repeated from time to time. I like it. I like it a lot. Boy, oh boy. Question now for those here. Min Jeong says South Sudan will have an upset here. Question is, which team do you think that South Sudan could upset? Because right now, South Sudan are grouped with Serbia, United States, and Puerto Rico. I think Puerto Rico, South Sudan is more even than people realize. But then, can they upset Serbia or can they upset the United States? Minjong, let us know what you think there. Yeah, Philippines, according to someone, won the gold medal in the Asian Games. Unfortunately, this is not the Asian Games, this is the Olympics. And of course, the Philippines is not even part of it. After failing in the Olympic qualifying tournaments, falling to Brazil in the semifinals. A great fight, though, from Gilas Pilipinas, and Brazil making it all the way to the Olympics at the expense of Latvia. Okay, according to Godzilla Edits, the team that Germany beat in the FIBA World Cup was only like rookies and barely beat them. And they don't, and he, oh, and Godzilla Edits do not think that they can beat this USA team now. Well, we'll see. We'll see. 47-36 is the count here. So Japan are slowly making, so I'm trying to find a way to make progress here. There's a foul there from Franz Wagner, by the way. That, you know, he'll feel. Yuki Kawamura hitting the 2 free throws, 47-38. And Josh Hawkinson with a layup. Yuki Kawamura making a big difference here, by the way. He made that assist, 47-40. Single-digit deficit. Guys, don't look now. Don't look now. But then Japan are doing exactly what they need to make this, keep this a competitive game. And you have to credit Yuki Kawamura, who already has 5 assists in this game, along with 5 points, perfect from the free throw line. Ah, my goodness. And let's see what happens here. And Patsit Canton Calamansi with his own predictions that I will not mention out loud because he might get angry. Oh, but he's also predicting that Japan will win 103-98. I gotta mention it. I'm sorry. So, Min Jong saying, I asked a while ago, South Sudan, who can they upset? Min Jong thinks can upset Serbia and Puerto Rico, and the reason is that Jokic can't carry Serbia, and Alvarado will have a hard time catching up with the lineup that South Sudan has. Let's see. It'll be really interesting group. This actually is probably the most balanced group. Well, not necessarily the group of death, because it's Germany, France, Brazil, Japan. Brazil had to go through an Olympic qualifying tournament, and Japan, at least on paper, not really great in terms of the talent level in comparison to France and Germany. So France and Germany are the teams expected to finish in the top 2. But let's take a look at Group A. Just go through who is in Group A, because it is amazing. As Franz Wagner hit a lay-in to make a 9-point game again, by the way. So Group A has Australia, Spain, Canada, and Greece. I mean, all of those teams you could expect to make it a semi-deep run for a medal, a podium finish. If not finish with a bronze or a silver, you can imagine Australia and Canada fighting for it, a bronze at the very least. But then, yeah, it's interesting as Rui Hachimura gets 2 free throws to make it a 7-point game, 49-42 after a foul coming from Isaac Bonga. Man, so I mean, like, Group C is a bit more straightforward, but not really as straightforward. So United States expected to finish top of that group. And the question now is Serbia, Puerto Rico, South Sudan. Who can finish in the top 2 alongside them? We'll see. Yeah. So, right now we're going to have different people coming in. For those wondering how the rotation of hosts work here for the party chats here, for chat parties for the FIBA basketball YouTube channels. Of course, I'm not going to be the only host. You're going to have other fun hosts as well. Andy Obst hits a 3-pointer for Germany, pushing the lead up to double digits again after, well, right now, though, it's only a 10-point game. We're heading towards the end of this first half. Salman says USA ain't winning the gold if they keep using LeBron to carry Team USA. They're not like the dream team according to them. Chub says, I think Australia can take the gold. Will take the gold. That is a take. Are we? I have a feeling we're not giving enough love to France as a host nation. You know, that host host nation boost that you normally get, and then you have guys like Wemby, you have guys like Poirier, and so many others. They're a solid team. Yeah, they disappointed in the FIBA Basketball World Cup, but I think that they can make a difference here. Rui Hachimura makes it a single-digit deficit after getting a free throw here, first of two. And okay, I think Salman's asking Chu, why do you think Australia can take the gold? Let's see. Sean disagreeing with me, by the way, about my France take. Okay, that's no problem. Rui Hachimura getting 2 of 2 from the free throw line, making it 52-44. Again, people expected this to be a blowout, and so far, it's not so bad here from Japan. You come in closer, you never know. You never know what could happen. It's gonna be really interesting. I mean, let's take a look at some of the teams that we have here. Of course, the first game in this group, by the way. In this group, France and Brazil will be playing as well. You take a look at their lineup of France. So you have Frank Ntilikina, Nicolas Batum, Gurshan Yabusele, Evan Fournier, Nando De Colo, who's always great. Victor Wembanyama, Bilal Koulibaly, Rudy Gobert. I mean, that's going to be really interesting. Godzilla Edit says, France did lose to Australia. Maybe Australia has a chance. That is true as well. Japan, built different. What an improvement. I agree. You know, everyone brings their A games for the Olympics, and we are seeing a very good Japan team. And Franz Wagner misses in the last shot here for the first half, and I'll do it for the first half, 52-44 in favor of the Germans. Japan playing well, though. Playing very well. Beatnik saying good game for Japan so far. I agree. We're going to try and go through the numbers here as well. Japan actually only lost that second quarter by 1 point, 24-23. Boy, yeah, again, this is no straightforward games here, I believe. Yes, no straightforward games here because Japan have been doing well. They've been doing well in this one. Let's take a look at some of the numbers here. 3-point shooting, 40% for Japan, 44% for Germany. From the field overall, 58% from Germany, 45% from Japan. 100% both teams from the free throw line. I want to see how many free throws were taken. So only 3 for Germany, 8 for Japan. Guys, practice your free throws. That's another factor here for Japan. Japan staying alive here, courtesy of good free throw shooting. They have a +5 advantage in the free throws. That is good. Again, to all our Japanese friends, I am having to use Google Translate for Japanese. So yes, go Japan. That's the comment above Reese a while ago. So yeah, so far so good for the Japanese. Again, if they can keep close, they've done it so far here in the third quarter and the second quarter and the first half. It's just a single-digit deficit. They just have to make sure that it's manageable going into the fourth quarter. If they can hold on, here, you never know. TY, I have to Google translate that Japanese. How many points did Hachimura score? Yeah, so we're going to go through that. We're going to go through the numbers here, okay? Thank you very much for that, TY. So right now, Yuta Watanabe leads the scorers for Japan with 13. Rui Hachimura has 8 points. Rui Hachimura is actually not having a great game. 2 of 9 from the field, 0 of 4 from beyond the arc. He's perfect from the free throw line, though. It's going to be different here for Rui Hachimura and Yuta Watanabe. Two guys here who are... I don't know if you would consider them as players, go-to guys in their respective teams, especially when they were, especially at the NBA level. But they're asked to do a lot more for their national team, which is what Dennis Schroeder is doing in Germany. Question is, can Rui Hachimura, who a lot of people have a lot of expectations for, come up big as well for this Japan team? A bit more efficiency is going to be needed here. As again, I have to Google translate some of these Japanese comments out here. Uh, yeah, I mean, like obviously, for those in other countries, go check, or if you're, if you're a foreigner in another country, go check the link below to see who are the local carriers of the Olympic Games in your respective countries, so you can go watch as well. Of course, we want Japanese fans to come out and support as well. Of course, we also want you to be on this chat as well, so make sure you stay there. Let's take a look at the top scorers from Germany. Isaac Bonga with 10, Franz Wagner with 11, Mo Wagner with 9, and Daniel Tice with 7. Dennis Schroeder, who we talked about a lot, and why not? He's been fantastic for Germany, 6 points, and unfortunately for him, has a hard time scoring, I guess, as regularly, but that's not necessarily his game with Germany. 5 assists in this game so far, though. Very good from him, as Dennis Schroeder has been one of the guys just keeping Germany ticking, just keeping Germany ticking. And of course, right now, like the chances here of Japan to how do you like the chances here of Japan to do well in this tournament based on what we're seeing so far against Germany? I don't know if they're going to get a win, mind you. We'll see. Yeah, so LM is saying the score difference isn't so bad. Japan can win. It's possible. It's possible. Uchiha Itachi says that Lebanon, Jordan, the Philippines are nations that they feel stronger than Japan. You can say that, but none of them are in the Olympics at the moment. So, I mean, Japan have done well to one. They finished top of the rankings in FIBA Basketball World Cup, which is how they made it, by the way. They're the top Asian country there. China, who was a perennial power in terms of Asian basketball in the international scene, is in a bit of transition as well. They didn't even make it to the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament. So again, we have to give credit to Japan. At least Asia basketball has to give credit to Japan for, one, being consistent in terms of the development of local players, having good NBA players, NBA contributors being part of their lineup, and right now they look like they're an ever-improving team. And who knows if they can get this type of lineup again in local tournaments. You never know. Right now, Mike Moto Trips is asking for advice if Japan can take it with a plus 15 odds advantage. I have to ask my guy, Pansit Canton Calamansi. He likes that. He likes questions like that. What do you think? Of course, Salman saying that maybe the Philippines can win a World Cup. Hey, you know what? We can dream. It's gonna be tough. It's okay. Let's go to Marzer learns to rock. If Japan can sustain good defense till the end, they can inch close. The Philippines defeated Latvia because of good defense and lost against Brazil because they can't sustain good defense. That's right. Defense wins championships. But right now, Japan having a hard time containing the defense of Germany. Can they keep their scoring up? Can they keep their scoring up? In terms talking about Japan, we're seeing some of the stats here between these two. Japan have actually been doing a good job at a couple of things here. So, and something we're going to watch out for. So, Japan have a +4 advantage in terms of offensive rebounding. They are keeping the ball alive on their end of the floor. And because of that, they're giving themselves more chances. The problem is that they haven't really been converting. So they have 6 offensive rebounds compared to Germany's 2, but they only have 2 second chance points. They need to find a way to get easy baskets off their offensive rebounds, or else it's going to be a bit difficult. Turnovers, they have to also limit. 7 turnovers already for Japan. And in terms of points of turnovers, Germany have been feasting their 9 points compared to only four for Japan. The biggest disparity here has to be points in the paint. Germany are the bigger team, much bigger team in almost all positions. 24 to 14 points in the paint in Germans. Bench point scoring 22 to 5 in favor of the Germans. Again, just a deeper team. So we'll see what happens there. Salman says that Canada's poised for gold in basketball with SGA showcasing top-notch skill. Rising stars like Benedict Mathurin, that's true, and Dylan Brooks. That's their strength. Yeah, absolutely. Canada win gold medal lots. Guys, what do you guys think? Can Canada win the gold medal? Why not? Yeah, could be. It's really interesting because the style of play also matters. I was at the FIBA Basketball World Cup and I was chatting with American journalists who were saying that they were still getting used to international basketball, just watching it and how it's played. And they saw that that's why the struggle was there for Team USA, and Canada were, I guess, a better team, a team that could adapt to it a bit better. They arguably performed better than Team USA back then. But you take a look at what this team has done, this Team USA has done, is that they loaded up on talent, and they could win it through talent because, yeah, it's just an incredible array. They called them the Avengers at one point because that's how much talent that they do have. But let's see if cohesion and the type of game played in FIBA, because it's a different game. 3-point line is shorter, the paint is more packed, it's a bit harder to score. Let's see if that can make a difference or not. And again, Exodus de la Cruz saying, yes, respect to Japan. They are playing very well, by the way. Very, very well. The way that they have performed here so far makes me excited to what they can do. Right now, again, the Japanese username that ends with 2024 says, keep it up, representation from Japan. Good job. Edward Veroski says, Salman, he agrees with you. But Salman, he agrees with you. But Dylan Brooks may be the least likable player in the world. Hey, you know what? Maybe, but he's fun. How about Greece? I think Greece may have depth issues when Giannis is not there. Or if Giannis, they have a guy in Giannis, but I don't know if he can turn the game around by himself. We'll see. And hello to Scorp ZGCA, who just chatted at the moment. And again, thank you very much for joining us. This is the second screen experience in the FIBA basketball channel on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Paolo Del Rosario from the Philippines. Very neutral because there is no Team Philippines in the Olympics, men's basketball or women's basketball or 3x3, unfortunately for us. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this Olympic Games turns out. I want to know, you guys in the chat, since everyone's in a talking mood right now, which I love. Name your podium finishers, your predictions for podium finishers in this Olympic Games. First, second, and third, who is getting it? And let's create a bit of a fight in the chat and see if that could work out. Back to this game though, biggest lead in this game was at 16, but then Japan doing enough to come within 52 to 44. They have been doing well, getting to the line. They have shot the ball relatively well, and they're doing what they need to do. They're doing what they need to do to come close in this game. So let's see how far they can go. Once again, thank you very much for joining us here, and your comments are deeply appreciated. USA Australia finals could be. Why not? I mean, Canada's also a good shout. I think in this group, Germany and France We'll see how France looks like in action. They're gonna go up against a Brazil team that they should beat relatively comfortably, but you never know. On in Group C, the expectations is there'll be Serbia and the USA who will finish in the top two positions. But I don't know. South Sudan looks really good. They look really fun. All right, here are the things coming up. Exodus de la Cruz says USA. The Real 21 says USA, Germany, and then Serbia. Ah, interesting. Godzilla Ed says USA, Canada, France. Okay. Bro Nana says South Sudan and USA for the finals. Let's see. Let's see. They're surprising. South Sudan's fun to watch, guys. Just watch them. They're fun to watch. USA and Australia championship round, according to Exodus de la Cruz. Okay, Play says Japan's on fire. But what do you think about podium finishers? Where do you think can they finish? Let us know what you all think. Again, also we have a super chat competition going on. So what that means is that you can go and support your team with a super chat. Each dollar cent equals 1 point. Who will dominate? Show your team spirit. Like right now, we are looking at scenes in Paris as a lot of Japanese fans are making themselves heard and felt. Yeah, Edward Vorowski saying that, oh yeah, wish we could have seen Kai Soto at the Olympics. As a Filipino fan, I wish we could see him in that Olympic qualifying tournament semifinals. We didn't even see him then. Well, anyway, South Sudan, according to the Real 21, is the most underrated team right now. Actually, a lot of people have been on the... George Sager says USA, Canada, France. Not necessarily in that order. Interesting. So the Real 21 saying that South Sudan is the most underrated team right now. I'd argue, though, more and more people are getting on the South Sudan bandwagon. Are they still underrated when we're expecting them to make upsets? Let's see. Can anyone tell me why Tominaga's not playing? I'm gonna try and get you that answer. Of course, with the wonders of technology, I can actually go and check. He has played 49 seconds. Not so sure. Who I got in Brazil versus France, it has to be, for me, on paper, France has to take it. France will be the favorites there. Personal foul from Rui Hachimura on Johannes Voigtman, who hits the deck after a missed layup from Rui Hachimura. And Yuta Watanabe also draws a foul, so two early fouls here for Germany. After Yuta Watanabe and Rui Hachimura are slapped with a couple of fouls. Interesting. Of course, love the Filipino contingent in the live chat, by the way. Thank you very much for joining us here. Again, hoping that Justin Brownlee can still play for the 2028 LA Olympics should the Philippines qualify. Let's see. First, qualify first. Does Franz Wagner start? Says JT15. Franz Wagner has played 14 minutes so far. I forgot if he started. Might have started. 11 points in this game so far, 3 rebounds, and an assist to go as well. So guys, thank you very much for joining us again in this experience. Second screen experience, as right now, look, the 3-point jumper has been falling for Japan. Yuta Watanabe hitting a 3-pointer after Dennis Schroeder hit a 2. 54-47 Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, not going away. Not going away here. And Exodus de la Cruz saying, is Tominaga the Japanese Steph Curry? Tominaga, unfortunately, has Steph Curry's number, but not the minutes required to show it off. Franz Wagner with another driving lay-in, 56-47, the count here so far in favor of the Germans. But, Japan are keeping themselves in this game, mind you. The scoring, a bit slowish. Let's see what they can do here. Here it's in the third quarter. Things can get a bit faster though. A foul drawn here by Rui Hachimura. Rui Hachimura has done a good job of getting to the line. That is an underrated skill here in general. So you take a look at the attempts here from the free throw line. Rui Hachimura already has 4 attempts from the free throw. That is a skill, finding a way to go to the line when your shot's not falling in general, because he's 2 of 10 from the field, but he already has 8 points in this game. So that's going to be really important for Japan. Makes the first of 2 free throws. Marzar learns to rock, says USA is a very deep team, but if USA will not put up strong defense against Australia or Canada, it will level the playing field. This is obvious against Sudan because USA was just giving open shots. Yeah, I'd also argue that USA was playing tune-up basketball. Like, that was their mindset. And they weren't playing as hard. I think it's different here in the Olympics. I also think it'll be different for Sudan. Like, I think their execution will be better. I think they could have won that game against Team USA. So we'll see. And yeah, people are... the real 21 saying, what if Ton Makur get approval to play in South Sudan? Yeah, that will help. So Tominaga. Let's see if he'll get minutes here, because right now barely any. Crispy asking where you can watch live. You can check the description for the FIBA on this particular video, and then you can check out the places to watch in your local area. Jesus De La Cruz says big upset to sustain the lead against Germany. Well, they can keep the lead small, mind you. Defense is the key. Yes, defense has to be the key. As Rui Hachimura got the 2 free throws, but then Daniel Theiss and Franz Wagner coming up big as well. Oh wait, let me refresh that. Oh, Dennis Schroeder came up big. 3-point basket here for Dennis Schroeder, answering back the 3-point basket by Rui Hachimura. It was 59-52, but then Dennis Schroeder silencing the Japanese. Japan won't go away, which is good. But Rui Hachimura with another 3-pointer. Someone asked a while ago. How many 3-pointers has Rui Hachimura scored? When they asked, he was 0 of 4. He just hit 2 back-to-back. It's not 2 of 6. For Harvey Bundalian, who is asking why there's no live video. The FIBA YouTube page does not have the rights to the Olympic Games, so we're only providing a second screen experience. You can turn on the video wherever you are watching around the world. Check out the link below for the list of local providers for wherever you are. And if you prefer this soundtrack and this chat room compared to what you see just on TV, please do keep us on. So, wow, Japan upset on the cards, 62-55, 6:19 left here in the third quarter. Why not? Japan fans, let yourselves be heard. Well, we'll see what happens here. Someone bring up a lot of numbers here. You say Canada with better offense and defense efficiency and superior 3-point shooting and fewer turnovers compared to the USA. Which USA team stats are you comparing it to, though? I think that's going to be interesting, as Franz Wagner gets 2 points here to push the lead up to 64-55. Important there for Franz Wagner. But Yuta Watanabe is fouled, and he'll have 2 free throws. Again, free throws so important here. Dennis Theiss will be hit with a foul. Free throws so important here with Japan, because they have yet to miss a free throw. But because I say that, they'll probably miss a free throw. Oh, rather, sorry. It was a foul on Yuta Watanabe for Daniel Theiss. Daniel Theiss hits the first of 2 free throws. My bad. Because right now, there's a bit of a lag between my live stream and the live stats. We're following the live stats. We're going to be up to date here. And because that's also what's seen here on the side of the screen. So, write that over there. We're going to follow that. Try and make sure that it's proper and it's working right. I think I'm pointing at the right spot. Yeah, I am. So right now, as a two double-digit lead here, 66 to 55 in favor of the Germans. Daniel Thais split the free throws, and Josh Hawkinson gets a foul here, courtesy of a foul from Johannes Voigtman. So good stand here so far from Japan. Again, I believe the goal has to be get within single digits going to the fourth quarter and let the chips fall where they may. Again, it's hard to defend. I think that's the problem. Hiki Luna is saying that, oh, Japan's already in the penalty in terms of their fouls. That's the hard part about defending a team that is just bigger, as that's always going to be an issue. How do you slow down a team that's a lot bigger, a lot more athletic, without just hacking and sending them to the line? That's what I feel Germany has been doing a better job at doing, being more physical in their offense, and just better defense there. Kawamura had a pull-up jumper that was so contested. Like the guy defending was literally twice his size almost. Felt like it at the very least. So then a shooter hits a two-pointer and gets a bonus free throw. Oh, gets a two-pointer, and then that's Voigtman. Gets Rui Hachimura with a foul, so he will go to the free throw line and shoot a couple. Again, important free throw shooting. Rui Hachimura gets the first of two. Perfect from the free throw line. Great stroke for him. And I'm waiting with bated breath. He gets two free throws. All right, so still perfect so far. No commentator's curse here. Germany leading the Super Chat Challenge, by the way, by a lot, 11-2. So Japan fans out there, don't make yourselves heard. So Salman is basing the stats that you posted right up here in the chat on the FIBA World Cup rosters. I think it's different with Team USA now. Those are not going to be an accurate. That's not going to be an accurate comparison considering the type of lineup that they have here. So I would suggest that you really think about that particular comparison. Hiki Luna says this quarter ends with a 20-point lead for Germany. It'll be difficult for Japan. Yes. Agree. Right now, 69-57. Hard to argue with that. Of course, Tomas Martisius is asking for the stream. Again, check with the video description to figure out which local provider you have for wherever you are around the world. So Japan now having a hard time with scoring. They were doing such a great job a while ago, but now a 13-point lead here from Germany. Again, you're absolutely right. 20 will be difficult. It was always going to be difficult for Japan, mind you. Their shooting has dried up a bit. I agree. I mean, like, I think Canada have a chance, but I think it's hard to come up with numbers now. This is literally the second game. Jason David saying that Japan will win this. That is very hopeful. They are big underdogs here, and this will be a great story if they manage to come back here. Talking about Jason David. But of course, it'll also be really tough for Germany. Imagine winning the FIBA Basketball World Cup and then losing your first game in the Olympics to Japan. Germans up by 13 at the moment. Defensive rebound from Rui Hachimura after a missed three-pointer from Franz Wagner. What can they come up with here? We'll see. And at the moment, bad pass there from Yuki Kawamura after the rebound there from Rui a while ago, the miss from Franz Wagner. Now the question is, can they? At the moment, they just have to stop the bleeding. Talking about Japan, defensive rebound here after a long pull-up jumper missed by Dennis Schroeder. Can they talking about Japan, manufacture an easy point here. Defensive rebound coming from Franz Wagner after a Rui Hachimura missed 3-point attempt. You just gotta figure it out. You just gotta figure out how you can get an easy point to stop the bleeding and just come within single digits going into the fourth quarter. You never know. Jairu saying Japan versus Brazil will be a good match. I think that will be a very important game actually to determine who makes it to the next round, because I think it's going to be a toss-up. Could be a toss-up considering the improvement we're seeing from Japan right now. For all the fans out there, I know that Germany are the big favorites, but then what do you make of this performance so far on Japan from Japan? Because they are trailing by 13, but a lot of people thought this would be a big blowout, and so far not necessarily the case. And Godzilla Edits also asking for thoughts on Team Serbia. No see. So I mean, like, Exodus de la Cruz is saying, if Pilipinas can win against a powerhouse team in Europe, how much for Japan? How about Japan? I would also argue Gilas Pilipinas beat a team that did not make it to the Olympics. And Japan are in the Olympics. They're playing at a higher level at the moment. So I don't think we can really compare. And so Iga Ninja says that, they need Tominaga. They've been asking a lot for Tominaga. Tominaga only played 49 seconds. I'm not quite sure what happened to Tominaga. Of course, a lot of people wondering where he is. So let's see if we can find out as well. But at the moment, it is still manageable somewhat here. 2:30 left here in the third quarter, 70-57. So 70-57 in favor of Germany still. And at the moment, scoring has slowed down here, which is good for Japan that Germany aren't scoring. But Japan need to get on the board. Japan need to have points on the board here. Japan's small point guards are liability and defense according to Marzer learns to rock. Similar with Gilas before, small point guards are liability exploited by big opponents. Yeah, I mean, size is still important in basketball, but I'd argue that their small point guards are great playmakers as well. So they just have to, balance it out. Josh Hawkinson answered back by Nick Weiler-Bob with 2-point jumpers with a couple of twos. So really no difference made there. 72-59 still the score. Yeah, Tominaga's a fan favorite right now. They need him to play. Well, let's see. Now people asking for him, and why not? So actually, I'm looking at social media right now, trying to figure out if there was anything wrong with Tominaga, health-wise. And right now, looks like that's not the case. Looks like a coaching decision is Makoto Hajima. Hajima gets a 2-pointer to go off a lay-in, coming within 11 here. But then Johannes Timan getting two back as well, 74-61. So nothing really changing here between these two. Japan just a little burst to make it a single-digit deficit, and you never know. You never know what could happen here. 74-61, still 13-point lead going into the fourth quarter. And just taking a look at the box score here, it's a good quarter here for Germany. Really holding down Japan in terms of scoring. 22-17 is the score here so far in the quarter in favor of the Germans. Japan just struggling to find a way to the basket. But so far, it's a great show between these two. But then the shooting is not there. Yuki Togashi missing a 3-point basket. Good for them that Nick Weiler Bob also missed a 3-point jumper. Yuki Togashi with a defensive rebound. Of course, we like it when the small guys get a rebound. 1 rebound so far for Yuki Togashi. Also, 1 rebound for Yuki Kawamura, two of the shortest guys on the floor, but 7 assists for Yuki Kawamura. Wow. What a playmaker that guy is. And that's the end of the third quarter, 74-61. Oh man, Germany have come up big here in the third quarter. That was important, an important quarter for them. They outscored Japan 22-17 here in quarter number 3. And that's going to be really important, especially if Japan managed to come up with a bit of a run going into the fourth quarter. Still, business is not done yet here for Germany. They were going to look at this one and feel like, if they're not careful, Japan could come up with a bit of an upset. And Bayanodam, it says, is there any stream service to watch the game? So go check the link that we have a while ago to see where you can check in the details of this particular page, this particular chat, and find out where you can watch the games by your local providers. And I'm sure they also have streams as well. Hiki Luna says this is still ripe for the comeback here for Japan. And yeah, I mean, like, Japan have more than held their own in this particular game. They've more than held their own. We'll take a look at some of the numbers here. 3-point shooting has fallen off just a bit here for Japan, 38% now, 41% here for Germany. Both teams still 100% from the free throw line, which is impressive. We'll go through that in just a bit. 27 rebounds here for Japan, actually out-rebounding Germany. 7 offensive rebounds here for Japan. Second chance points, only at 4 though. Gotta improve on that. And a lot faster on the break, 13 points off fast break by Japan. That's how they've been scoring, actually, and also doing very well from the free throw line. 34 points in the paint here for Germany. Japan, their height disadvantage so apparent, their size disadvantage so apparent, they are unable to contain Germany inside. Again, it is a 34-18 advantage for Germany in the paint. Take a look at the box score here. Free throws, 7 of 7 for Germany. Japan, free throws, 12 of 12. Guys, practice your free throws. Practice your free throws. Important. And that's actually one of the reasons why Japan is still in this shout. Franz Wagner being shown on screen, 17 points, 7 of 13 from the field. Well. Let's see. Now, for those wondering, about this, for those wondering about Japan and their basketball program, they're on the rise, definitely. Their women's program, the women's game there, is also doing really well. Make sure you catch that also. We're going to have the women's competition also in this particular format. So make sure you catch us there as well. And support the girls playing hoops. Been a great showing here so far from Japan. Here in the fourth quarter, though, is Mo Wagner, who gets the first basket. The tip in here from Mo. And you got to be careful if you're Japan. This could get ugly really quickly. 15-point lead, offensive rebound again. Two offensive rebounds here. Makoto Hajima all over the boards. And another miss. But then Hirotaka Yoshii. This is a possession that's not ending. Not ending for Japan. And finally they get one. Yuki Kawamura with a much needed 3-pointer. 76-64. And all of a sudden Japan are back in business. Much needed basket there coming from the Japanese. Again, a lot of people are still wondering, where is Kaisei Tominaga? 49 seconds played. No attempts. And has yet to really come up big. Has yet to really been given a chance here by the coaching staff. And if you go on social media, uh, people are complaining. Why is he not playing? Kaisei Tominaga. And of course, yeah, a lot of people are like saying like, oh, maybe it's defense, but then the kid can shoot. He can shoot. Yeah, he can. But again, coach's decision here. And so far, even without him, can't really complain about what we're seeing here so far. Not bad from Japan. But could they be closer if he was playing? We'll see. Yuki Togashi comes back in for Yuki Kawamura with a 3-pointer just a while ago. Yuki Kawamura, of course, was subbed out right after the foul. Let's check in on his foul count. Oh, he's already in his 4th personal foul. That's why. And Mo Wagner hits a lay-in, 78-64. Unfortunately for Kawamura. Yeah, and Malasa Consabor is saying that, yeah, Japan is fine for the rebounds and it's impressive. Absolutely right. So the thing with Japan is they do lack in numbers, but then they're really performing in terms of effort stats. And Johannes Timan getting a floater to go. 80-64 in favor of the Germans. As the shot's not falling here. Rui Hachimura missing on 2 attempts. And eventually, each possession ended quickly here by the Germans. Mo Wagner with a defensive rebound there. And of course, Rui Hach and Isaac Bonga a while ago as well. Can they get some points to go? And Nick Weiler-Bob hits a big 3-pointer. Cue the timeout. 83 rather, to 64 in favor of the Germans. Boy, is that it? Is that the run that really puts out the fight of Japan? We'll see. Or can Japan manage something here? They need something a bit different because Germany have now found a way to make this a comfortable game for themselves here. 83-64. Biggest lead of the game is at 19, which is where we're at so far. Someone's asking, which Wagner you got, Mo or France? All right, I'll let everyone else answer that. And Malasa Consabor says, she says, watch the last Olympics for the women, and the level competition's not quite there yet in the level competition is still far apart for the 12 countries. It's not that even yet. And I have to agree. With that. But I believe that every Olympic cycle, it improves. The gap becomes closer. So we'll find out which nations will impress or have impressed. Japan, again, have impressed in the women's in the women's basketball. So we'll find out what they can do here. And of course, other nations, I'm sure, are growing as well. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us here on the FIBA Basketball Channel second screen chat party. Thank you very much for everyone who is still joining us. Hundreds of you have come in and joined, and it's always been really fun reading your comments and being part of the conversation. And let's see what changes Japan can make here. They called the timeout. Much needed timeout, by the way. Much needed timeout. And come out with a 3-pointer coming from Hirotaka Yoshi. Oh, that's also much needed. 83-67. Still a long way to go here. Still 16-point lead. And Malasa Consabor says, I really get mad every time they say Germany world champions. But it's true! They're world champions! Cannot deny that. Josh Hawkinson misses a 2-point floater. As Timon comes away with a defensive rebound. Timan comes away with a defensive rebound. Trying to get the pronunciations down pat as well. This German team has done a professional job here so far. Isaac Bonga will go to line to shoot two. Trying to push the lead up again. And Germany has just played this second half very well. They limited Japan to only scoring 17 points in the third quarter after they have scored more than 20 points in the first and second quarter. And right now here in the fourth quarter, just making things difficult, life difficult for them near the halfway point of this fourth quarter. It'll be difficult to see whether or not they can even find out, whether or not they can even make it to the 20-point mark. Again, talking about Japan. But how close can they get? We'll find out. And for those wondering who's on the floor, well, Harvey now is wondering who's on the floor now for Germany. It's Bonga, Wheeler Bob, Mo Wagner, Dennis Schroeder, and Johannes Thiemann. Oh, and Franz Wagner just checked in for Isaac Bonga. So a couple of changes there. And then, of course, Hiki Luna saying that he notices that there is now the Euro foul a bit. That's what they call it, just the foul to stop the break. Of course, you can't really do that without playing the ball these days. It's just a way to stop fast breaks. And sometimes you just gotta go to that. Hirotaka Yoshii with an offensive rebound, and he gets the floater to go. Important second chance points there coming from Japan. Come within 84-69. Close. That's what they need to be, just closer and closer and closer. Or to Melaza Consabor, USA has won gold in basketball since first was added. Only legitimate loss, 2004. Pretty sure that wasn't the only loss of the USA. Well, right now, B. Lauren is saying that Japan is just struggling with the spacing and building passing angles against Germany's length. Guards are just not able to do it. And yeah, you understand that. But then at the same time, I don't think the gap is as pronounced as a lot of people thought it would be between Japan and the other countries around Europe. As Rui Hachimura will go to the line to shoot a couple. Rui Hachimura is an important part of this team. Just because of his ability to shoot free throws. And as I say that, he misses one. He missed his first free throw. Talking about Rui Hachimura. Rui Hachimura has now, from the free throw line, 9 of 10. Unfortunate. Oh, and here it is again. Franz Wagner, rather. Getting a driving lane to go. 86-70 is the count. As Germany looking really good here. Really good here. Of course, if you're Japan, though, you're going to love the effort shown, especially in that first half. And you're going to try and figure out how you can tighten things up in the second. Of course, a lot of adjustments were made by Japan, trying to make things a lot better. A lot of changes in the second half for Germany. Slowed the game down. As Mo Wagner will go to line to shoot 2. Hirotaka Yoshii hit with the foul. And right now, you gotta wonder. Time out here from Japan. A lot of people are wondering, hey, can Tominaga play? He's only played 49 seconds, the least amount. So, well, him and Kai Toos have yet to really play for Japan. Can they come in and at least leave an impression in the dying moments of the game? This is not, at the moment, it seems like it's going to be really tough for Japan to make a comeback at all. Very difficult. Harvey Bundalayan says, height is always a big factor between Asian and European. Yeah, it's a big factor. But I also would say skill, shooting, technique, that all matters as well. Very much matters. It matters a lot, actually. Especially now that the game has de-emphasized height in the sense that shooting is more of a premium, at least in a modern game. Obviously, you still need height, very much so. Godzilla says, "What do you think would happen if Philippines had Jordan Clarkson instead of Brownlee? Would the Philippines be in the Olympics right now?" Uh, I don't really deal with if buts and maybes with regards to that. To be honest, all I know is that Brownlee was it's not a bad choice. Simple as that. Jordan Clarkson, I don't think is a bad choice either. I just think that the Philippines lacked bodies in the Olympic qualifying tournaments. They only had 10 players in that game against Brazil. So, if they had Kai Soto there, or if they had another floor spacer there, that could have made a difference, or another, someone who could carry the ball in that Olympic qualifying tournament against Brazil, it could have made a difference. But then, tough to say. Oh, and someone here from Japan says, "Oh, it's about to be T-Mac time." If Japan can make something happen, you know what? If we're gonna see a T-Mac moment here, why not? Right? 13 points in how many seconds, or something similar to that. 88-70 is the count here after Mo Wagner gets 2 free throws. 18-point lead here for the Germans. So we'll see. I mean, I think some of our younger viewers don't understand just how amazing T-Mac was, especially in that particular sequence where he scored 13 points. My gosh. Or was it 13 or something like that? Something similar to that. I forgot the exact number. B. Lauren says, "No, the emphasis on height. The game has just changed where the height plays with high ball screens and switching." Well, it depends on how you play. You can play small ball and actually have success in it. We've seen it work. So it depends on how your team plays. Obviously, height's still important, but you can win without having the tallest players. That's my point. But at the moment, the size is actually a big factor here at the guard position as well. Oh, Reggie Miller also did that, but T-Mac did it too. I have to double check on what T-Mac hit 13 points in 33 seconds. That's the record I was talking about. To Edward Varosky. Yeah. According to Marzar learns Saraka in Olympics or FIBA, I think a team with more than 6 deep players can reach the quarterfinals. Yeah, I agree. And of course, at the moment here, Japan just not scoring, having a hard time finding the basket again. You have to credit Germany's defense in the second half. They've done such a great job defensively here in the second half. So 17 points in the third quarter for Japan after scoring more than 20 points in quarters number 1 and 2. And here in quarter number 4, it looks like they're going to have a hard time reaching the 17-point mark as well, considering the way they clamped down. A different game played by Germany defensively here. But Josh Hawkinson getting a free throw, first of 2. That'll be good for them as they try to make the score a bit more respectable. And of course, it's going to be really interesting to see how Japan improve from this as Daniel Taisa gets a lay-in courtesy of a shooter assist. How can Japan get an upset result? It's still going to be an upset though against Brazil. That's going to be really interesting. And of course, you're talking about someone a while ago was talking about height. How can they handle the height of France, especially Victor Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert patrolling the interior? We'll see. Yeah, Godzilla edit saying this might be over for Japan. Did good though. Good game to you all, Japan. Yeah, I think as a contest, this is already over with a 18-point lead here with 2 minutes and 17 left. But Japan will try and get a bit closer. Melissa Consabor says FIBA isn't about big names and more about the coaching staff. Yeah, it's also a big factor there. Daniel Theis with a dunk here, 20-point lead, biggest lead so far here for Germany. Yeah, so absolutely right. Defense was a factor. It's defense both ways. Marcel Learnsarak made a point that you will see the score now and Germany's running away because Japan could not sustain their defense up to the fourth quarter. Absolutely right. At the same time, Germany also improved their defense in the second half because they've limited them. 11 points only in this quarter so far. And Germany are also running and gunning and making it difficult for Japan to get anything. Yeah, so I mean, like, it's a combination of all of that. I mean, that is a big factor. Let's take a look at the points of turnovers. Germany have 13 points of turnovers against Japan. Japan have turned their ball over 12 times in this one. Just running and gunning, they have been the quicker team off the block here for Germany. They've also, even though they had conceded more second chance points, +4 advantage there for Japan. Germany in the interior, +26, 46 to 20 in favor of the Germans. They had the height advantage and they know how to use it. They know how to use it. Japan did a good job in the first half offensively. They were able to just find a way to outscore. They found a way to keep in pace with Germany. But then the thing is, they didn't allow Germany to run away with it too much. They just didn't have a real answer to Germany defensively in the second half. Germany did score only 22 in the third quarter compared to the 24 in the second. But then, yeah, I just felt that Germany just locked down Japan defensively in general. So, yeah, I mean, like, I think this could be a good good start here for Germany. Can they make it all the way to the podium? This time around, guys? What do you think? How do you think they'll do? Yeah, how do you think they'll do? Because that's going to be really important here. As right now we are seeing a great effort here from Japan. And you know what? If I'm a Japan fan, I'm getting excited for that game against Brazil in particular, because this gives me hope that we can get a win. It's going to be tough, very tough, to get a win against France. But then why not Brazil? Yuki Kawamura gets a 3-pointer here for Japan. 92-77 is the score, making it just a bit more respectable. So, well, actually, Japan was in the Olympics last time around because they were the hosts. So, not necessarily rookies, but then they're still learning to compete at this level. 92-74, or rather 94-77. As it looks like this is going to be it here, with Daniel Thais hitting a 2-point jumper and making 94-77. Again, impressive start here for Germany. Japan, coming out here and, just looking better than most people realize. As Franz Wagner hits a 3-pointer to make it a 20-point game again. And they're just three away from making it a 100-point game. Then Schroeder tried to make it a 100-point game here for Germany, but nothing doing there. And we're just waiting for the final buzzer for the final score. And that's going to be a miss from Yuki Kawamura from a step back 3. And I'll do it. 20-point win here for Germany, 97-77. Good start here for the Germans. Japan just faltered and sputtered towards the end. Of course, that is something that Japan wishes that they could kept under wraps. Let's see how they do in their next coming games. But then for Germany, trying to show everyone, like, hey, we're world champions. And they're going to have this belief that they can make it all the way to the medal rounds and really make a difference, make a dent here in the Olympic stage. Let's see if they can make it. But thank you very much for joining me here in the FIBA basketball channel here on YouTube. Thank you very much for the company, the comments, and all the conversations that we've had here. More games are coming up make sure for every international game, for every Olympic game, you come in on the YouTube channel and join us over here, and let's have a party, have a chat party, and we can't wait to see you for the next few games. Once again, I'm Paulo Del Rosario from the Philippines. Thank you very much for joining us. You can catch me on X at Paulo Del Rosario and on Instagram at Paulo Del Rosario. And of course, you can also catch me in future games here in the Olympics on this particular page. And I cannot wait to see you all there next time. Have a good day.